Welcome back to this episode, everyone. In this one, we are going to be working on the hangar bay. Welcome back, everyone. Alrighty, just before we get on with the hangar bay, I'm just going to give an update. I put this rice paper on the warp grills there, so it's going to be a little bit, so you won't see the actual lights inside. So that, and these turned out not too bad. Just got to putty the join lines there so you won't notice them. It's coming along. It's good. Okay, now for the hangar bay, I went online to try and find the coloring scheme for it, and there's really no definitive color that I could find. I guess it's just the way it's been lit, and it just doesn't look like the way I was hoping it was going to look like. Okay, so I'm just going to take a wild guess, and I'm going to do like maybe a light gray or something like that for the interior. You can see some of the flooring in the back here is a blue for the lower landing pads there. And down here is like a dark gray or a metallic gray. And I see up there the pads themselves up here on the top layer are blue. But the overall floor seems to be like this metallic gray kind of color. So that's what I'm going to do that. Okay, let's get that done. Okay, so I'm going to use a camouflage gray for the interior. And I have a graphite gray metallic I'm going to be doing for the floor. So I'm going to start with this one first here. Okay, once that sets, I will paint on, mask off, and then paint the blue sections in here that require where the pads are for the shuttles to be and all that. Alright, now we're getting on with this. That dried very well. Looks nice. I like it a lot. Okay, so it seems like this whole bottom or mid floor is all blue. So I'm going to make this section here all blue. So I'm going to mask everything else off except this. And then for the top up here, there's a couple of the actual pads there for the shuttles to sit on are blue, while the rest of the floor is like this metallic gray. So I'm going to put a couple in here, mask that off. And that'll take care of all the blue. One thing about this too is that the midsection here is open up so shuttles can fit underneath here. I'm not really going to do that here. You're not going to see anything anyway, except for this area here, because that's up and underneath behind. You won't be able to see anything. Okay, now I put the two shuttles there just to give me a length for the rectangles. It should be, and the width for each one. And use a marker here to mark it out and then mask around the areas. So it's about 3 centimeters
1¼ inches. But how close to the edge here? So let's move these back a bit. Okay, I finally opened up my eyes and told myself, look at the decal pad, please. There's the blue, which would go right here. So I don't need the mask for that at all. Okay, so look at the pads here. That long one goes here. But the square there, according to the photo, has to be blue. So I got to paint that square in there. Don't need to worry about that. So these here are for the cargo area. The actual landing bay area there. The mid landing bay. Alright. So what I need to do then, I'm going to get the dimensions of this and then paint it onto the bottom of here, the blue area. And that's about all I really need to do. Okay, just going to cut this out. Right there. Use this to trace around. Now I cut it as close to the yellow here, the little yellow lines, as possibly could. Actually, okay, so that's where the blue goes. You can barely see it, but it's there. Put those back in the bag. Okay. So I don't need to worry about painting that blue. Just this one here. So I gotta mask everything else off except that. So, okay, I got Arctic blue here. That's about as close to the color of that as I could get. So, I'm just gonna paint that on there. Not bad. Just gotta let that dry now. Nice. I could use this for other stands if I need to. Nice and thick, strong and sturdy. Okay, I gotta make sure I remember to put the decaling in there before closing it all up. Alright, so this is the ceiling. That'll go on very last, because I have to light the ceiling here yet. Okay, these little notches in here, those are all windows, so I got to cut those out. There are a few doors here that are closed. I'm going to open them up. Some of them, not all. So I got a little bit of drilling to do here with the windows. And then there's supposed to be little railings that go along here. I am going to have to make some up. Okay, before I get too much further, I'm going to apply the decals here to the rest of the base. Alright, so what I did here is I just shortened that up to make that fit. Okay, looks good. So when this dries, I will apply some of that decal adhesive or decal set on top of those there to seal them in, and it'll fit them in place just a little bit easier. And then I'll spray a clear coat and then a dull coat over top of all this to seal all that in. That looks pretty good. Okay. Now for these little walkways here, I'm gonna paint the flooring a gray metallic. So, kind of like that. It distinguishes the walls from the floor. Okay, looks good. So now I just need to come up with railings for those areas there. Okay, so I got the clear parts in there now for the overhead lighting. So for this part here, I'm going to put that rice paper over top. Don't really need it for these ones here. Okay. Now I put the clear coat on all of these so that they don't pop out. So they're in there. They're in there for good. Just like that. Okay, I decided the paper on all of it was necessary. It just diffuses the light so much better, and it looks a whole lot better. Okay, so I'm going to get these bay windows cut out here. Just going to square off the windows here now. Alright, now, what I need to do now is I'm going to take the window maker, I'm going to tape off the back here, and then just fill it up. So, because there's no plastic, clear plastic that's going to fill those in. I have to use the window maker for that. I've got it as tight as I can get it. Okay, just gotta let that dry now. When it sinks back down, I'll add like another layer on top of that. But other than that, it's gonna look good. Oh yeah. Okay, well that's about all I can do right now. I'm just waiting for that light kit to come in for the landing bay part here. So until then, pretty much done for this episode. In the next one, we are going to be doing some assembly, including work on the navigational deflector and the lower sensor dome for the primary hull. Please like, subscribe, comment, don't forget to share, and click that notification bell for any future uploads. If you have any questions or you want me to do some commission work for you, contact me at epyc.models@gmail.com. Also check out my website, www.epyc.models.com. Also my online store, the link is down below. See you all again later. Bye bye.